今天要跟大家分享一个即时的访谈。就在昨天9月3日阅兵刚结束，中国学者高志凯就接受了外媒的采访，对当前的国际形势发表了一些相当犀利的观点。高志凯这个人在国际关系领域还是很有影响力的，经常在各种场合为中国发声。这次访谈正值当前中美关系比较复杂的时期，他的一些表态可以说是毫不客气。最有意思的是，当主持人暗示中国也在霸凌其他国家，特别是提到台湾问题时，高志凯的反应可以说是相当强硬。他不仅没有回避，反而直接点名批评某个国家的霸权行为。另外，对于昨天刚举行的9月3日阅兵，他给出了一个非常震撼的评价，说这是人类历史上最重要的军事阅兵。这话分量很重，背后传递的信息也很值得我们琢磨。我觉得不管你怎么看待他的观点，这个访谈都很值得关注，特别是在当前这个敏感时期。好，我们一起来听一听他是怎么说的。
A lot has been made of the images that we're seeing coming out of Beijing, but what sort of message did China want to send to the world?
Thank you very much for having me. I think the great success of the summit meeting of the SCO held in Tianjin is very significant, especially in the context of the world situation today. Meaning the SCO wants to promote multilateralism, multipolarity, and encourage international cooperation among its members, as well as in the global south. In contrast to the position of certain country, which really wants to impose its version of the truth onto all the other countries, sometimes even by holding a gun at the head of other countries. This is the sharp contrast in the world of today. And I think the multipolarity is very much believed by all the SCO members as the megatrend of the world of today, and no country should really indulge in the fantasy that it is the sole polarity in the world of today.
Do you, you talk there about a certain country. Xi Jinping criticized the bullying behavior, and I'm quoting him. He said the bullying behavior of other countries, that was interpreted as a veiled stab at the United States and Donald Trump.
Well, I don't think it is veiled. It's very explicit. I think there is only one country in the world which really is bullying around among many countries in the world. For example, launching this the world tariff war, which is the wrong war to launch. And then it tries to impose itself on top of other countries as if whatever it dictates should be the real truth. This is not the rule of law that most of us really wants to live in. This is kind of restoration of the law of the jungle in a sense. And I think the SCO, which operates completely on consensus basis, and if any member state does not like what is being discussed, they can actually use its own veto power to bring the whole thing to a halt. I think this is truly a very democratic way of exercising collective leadership for more than 2,000 countries altogether, gathered together, which represent kind of half of the population in the world and quite a chunk of global economy. And I think it draws more and more magnetic attraction to many other countries in the world because they want to have a piece of this collective leadership and they want to have their own voice made known to the rest of the world rather than being dictated by one single big power.
Mr. Gao, do you think that Beijing then would view, and I mean Beijing, not Beijing, Taiwan would view your, talks about bullying behavior, Taiwan would view the behavior of Beijing as bullying. And the United States Republican senators, a couple of them traveled to Taipei on Friday. They talked about the absolute need for Taiwan to remain free and preserve self-determination. in many ways, you're criticizing the United States for their bullying behavior, but there are certain countries, and certainly Taiwan views China as a bully.
No, I think all of us on the eve of the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the victory against fascism, we all need to remind ourselves that the one China policy and Taiwan being considered as part of China has been carved in stone as a legacy of the victory over Nazi Germany and Japanese fascism. Because if you read the Cairo Declaration and the Potsdam Proclamation, they all dictate that when Japan unconditionally surrender, Japan need to surrender Taiwan back to China. This is the legal status. Taiwan has been part of China ever since the Cairo Declaration and the Potsdam Proclamation were made known to the world. And no one should pretend that Taiwan is separate from China. Taiwan is very much part of China. And this is the legacy of the victory of the Second World War.
So the military parade we're likely to see, is that also to signal to the United States that if it does intervene in any way, if China were to make a move on Taiwan, China is ready to escalate this further?
The military parade on September the 3rd will be, in my judgment, the most important military parade in human history. It will showcase the best military weapons, hardware, software, drones, robotics of all kinds. The underlying message is to promote peace, meaning no country in the world should ever dare to impose war of any kind on China. And China will remain a very important force for peace, including force protecting peace across the two sides of the Taiwan Strait, meaning no country should be allowed to intervene in the cross-strait relations because it's purely a domestic, internal Chinese affair. It is not a situation involving two sovereign and independent countries, and no foreign country should be allowed to interfere and intervene in the internal matters of one China.
看完高志凯的采访，我觉得有几个信息点特别值得关注。首先，他对当前国际形势的判断非常明确，直接批评某个国家的霸权行为。这个某个国家大家都心知肚明，他提到的贸易战、强加自己价值观这些，确实反映了当前很多国家对霸权主义的不满。然后关于台海问题，高志凯的态度可以说是寸步不让，他直接搬出开罗宣言和波茨坦公告，这些历史文献强调台湾问题纯属中国内政，任何外国势力都无权干涉。这种表态在当前形势下意义重大。最关键的是他对昨天阅兵的解读，说这是人类历史上最重要的军事阅兵，要展示最先进的军事科技。他强调这不是挑衅，而是为了维护和平，向全世界传递一个信息：中国有能力保卫自己的核心利益。从这个访谈可以看出，面对当前复杂的国际环境，中国的立场是很明确的，既要合作共赢，但在涉及核心利益的问题上绝不妥协。这种表态在当前这个时间点出现，确实很有深意。好啦，今天的内容就到这里，感谢你们的观看，下期节目再见。